Yesterday I had a very interesting experience and a very inspiring experience. I was doing my show with Michael Miller. We do our show every few weeks for community newspaper. It's on Facebook and Instagram. At the end of the show, Michael tells me, you want to meet Dan Francisco? I don't know much about Dan Francisco, but those of you, obviously, the Latins know him very well. He's a TV personality. He had a show for 53 years straight. He's had a show. I think it's a Guinness Book World Record. He's interviewed presidents, he's interviewed everyone, and he's a very famous person. Would you like to meet him? I said, of course. And they told me that his parents were Jewish, his father's a Holocaust survivor, he even wrote about the experience. I said, of course, I'd love to meet with him. So he's like 81 years old. I meet with him, I start talking to him, I speak to him in Yiddish because he speaks German. And as I'm walking with him to the studio, he turns to me, and the next thing he tells me, I can't believe it. He says, and this week is Parshas Akev. I'm like taken aback. How does he know? He's 81 years old, doesn't seem like a religious Jew, a big TV personality, and he knows it's Parshas Akev coming up to Shabbos. I said, how do you know it's Parshas Akev? He says, well, I study with my rabbi in Miami Beach every week, because on Friday night, I like to invite guests. I have like 20 guests coming to my house, and I want to teach them about the Parsha. Well, wow. I'm so impressed. And I told him, you could inspire more people than even rabbis, because you, this famous Dan Francisco, studying Torah and teaching Torah, that's really impressive. So then he said, why don't you stay for my interview? So I was in the studio when he was being interviewed by, her name is Perez. She's a school board, Miss Perez, a school board of Miami. She's on the school board of Miami, talking about excellence. So I want to share one question she asked him. She said, you stopped your show, I think, after 53 years. It was a few years ago. Now what? What's now? So he said, very interesting. He said like this, I've gotten so many awards throughout my life, many awards. I interviewed presidents. I did everything. World famous, all over the world. Everyone knows me. But the day I stopped doing TV shows, that's all behind me. It's not, at this point for my future, my life, doesn't have the impact anymore. Now I have to decide what I'm going to do today and what my future is going to be. Because I had such a great career before, that's great, but I'm not just going to sit back and just look at reruns of my old TV shows or look at the plaques on the wall. I have to decide what I want to do the next stage of my life, which is he's doing a lot of studying Torah, and he's doing a lot of other things to help other people. And you think to yourself, how often does it happen that if we have good careers in our life, we become comfortable? I want to retire, I just want to fish, and I just want to look back to my life in the past and not think about my life in the future. And he, listening to the way he speaks and the way he lives his life reminds each one of us. And he said even during his talk how God gave him the strength and God helped him. So you see this in this week's Torah portion. It talks about that we always have to realize that the successes that we have in our life is not because of us. Obviously we have to work hard, but God gave us the strength and put us in the places that we're able to do to become who we are today. Obviously we have to do our part. But then we can't say to ourselves, well, I had a very successful career. I ran 53 years, I had TV shows, and now I can retire and just look back on my career and just enjoy it. No. Every single day of our life, we have to make meaningful. And like I said, in this week's portion, it talks about that God, we always have to say that God gives us our strength. So even if we, stop in our career and we start doing something else, we can't say to ourselves, well, I was only so successful because I was very good at this field. Now, what am I going to do? This field is over. No. God gives us the strength every stage of our life. And anything that we have the strength to do, that we could do it and really impact the world, and we have to continue to impact the world. And those people are so inspiring that no matter what they've accomplished, they realize that's only yesterday. Today and tomorrow, you got to do something again. You got to do something new. So let's all take that lesson in life, that we should never say to ourselves, we're successful, we can sit back, we don't have to do anything anymore, but continuously to grow, to continuously to inspire, continuously to study, continuously work on your relationships, continuously work in relationship with God and your family, and continuously say, how can I make today better than yesterday? Shabbat Shalom.